Hi there, everyone. Welcome. This is Lotus with Art of Sacred Embodiment. So, I wanted to chat a little bit today about the old paradigm and the new paradigm around empowerment. So, let's start with the old paradigm, um, more or less the old 3D construct, right? About being proud of ourselves, okay, being empowered and owning and standing in and embodying all of those things that make us really beautiful and unique and really amplify and honor our gifts, our talents, our skills. um, in the old way of looking at things, when we look at self-love, when I hold self love, one of the first entry points to self love often is self acceptance. And then we can move into self love. And then I find that self honor comes into play. And when we're honoring ourselves, automatically that means that we begin to honor everything about us. We already start with that acceptance of truly deeply accepting who we are, what we consider to be our flaws as well as our strengths. And as we move through self love, right, we're maybe integrating some of those and we're just holding them even more fully. And then self honor is when we're able, this is just one prism that we can look through. And then self honor becomes something that we are able to then stand in to really celebrate and not just honor, but then share everything that makes us our own color of the rainbow. So the old way really is about disempowerment. It's about negating ourselves, disclaiming, really amplifying our shortcomings because we've been taught, right? Don't get too big for your britches. Don't be too proud of yourself. Having pride is bad. It's sinful. It's wrong. Um, and that we shouldn't really feel so good, at least outwardly, about those things that really rock about us and what we're really here to bring forth, to celebrate, to share, or our successes even. We're not really supposed to tout our those successes in not only our material world but in our personal world, right? Perhaps you've overcome a lot of obstacles and you have come into this new place of wisdom and a more expansive perception, and you're able to enter into that place of self honor and really honoring who you are and your journey and what you bring. But we haven't really been taught that it's okay to speak directly about that. And oftentimes, I think I've experienced this in the past when I would come across people who were very bold in their statements of who they were in a very positive way. There were times where I longed to have that kind of quality, and I also sort of shuddered from it because it was uncomfortable, because it wasn't something that the majority of us have been taught to be able to really embody. So so the new paradigm is going to be very different. The new paradigm is that those qualities that we honor, those qualities, those attributes, those strengths, those skills, those are brilliance, right? And I'm using brilliance and radiance purposefully because these become our divine qualities, and they become aspects of our own holy wholeness. So whenever we're self-negating, whenever we're talking down about ourselves in a way that's not necessarily mindful and constructive in looking at perhaps what needs to shift, but we're sort of cutting ourselves down. Um, what that does is it cuts us off, literally, from our energy and from our wholeness and from our divine qualities, from those attributes that we all carry within us in our own unique flavor and way, that allows us to really blossom and thrive and step into everything that we're here to step into. So as we begin to move forward, what I invite everybody to do is to really watch when you're speaking or when you are fearful of speaking, and watch where you're withholding your own energy in a way that becomes confined and constricted because because of the program that's running, that, oh my gosh, well, if I really speak out about this, if I really share this, if I really stand in this place of deep empowerment that is connected to my divinity, then what are people going to think? You know, they might think I'm a little hoity-toity. They might think that I'm better than. And really, that's not what being empowered is about, or honoring everything that makes us amazing, brilliant people. What I have found is that the more empowered that I feel, the more humbled that I feel. And they go hand in hand in one of the most beautiful, harmonious ways. And I also want to share that, you know, we have the new Divine Power Center, right? This new chakra center, which is at the diaphragmatic chakra. It's very different than the third solar plexus chakra, that is about our personal power, that is about our self-esteem, that is really about us being able to come forth in our presence in the world. And when we have that center balanced, we can hold ourselves in that place of honor and honoring everybody else's empowerment. Okay? So then we have the Divine Power Center. This really, for me, the way that I work with this is that I really feel that when I'm activating this center, it's moving me beyond just my personal personality, ego, self-esteem, and empowerment, which is foundational, right? It's a fundamental stepping stone. And it allows me to really access and begin to cultivate and embody on a deeper level those higher frequency qualities or states of being that connect us directly to our innate, I'm going to say deservability. That word is not one of my favorites, for a number of reasons, not because I don't think that we deserve, but the innate worthiness of our divine power. It is a right. It is a right that we have divine power in connection with divine source. You know, source, love, and wisdom knows that we are powerful beyond all belief, right? All of our imagination. And we're just trying to catch up to that. So the system that we've had thus far is very disempowering. It disempowers us on a personal level by, again, teaching us to practice and live through self-rejection, which means shame, guilt, not feeling good enough, being attached to our wounds and being attached to addiction and suffering. So as we move from the 3D, lower density paradigm into the higher frequency and higher realm consciousness, we begin to recognize and learn that of course we're here to love ourselves. Of course we're here to celebrate everything that we bring forth, because that then serves the greater good. The old paradigm also on the 3D realm, 3 and 4D realm, collectively has disempowered humanity through a lot of the power structures, right? And it has taught us to be competitive. It has taught us to only find our power, so to speak, or our good enough through certain expressions of success. It has created a very, very detrimental imbalance of power by disempowering the majority and only empowering the minority, which then uses that imbalanced power to do harm. So, power is not necessarily meant to do harm. The way that I see power is it is meant to strengthen all of the goodness that we bring in to our being, within our sacred technology, within our divine blueprint that connects us to divine source. And it begins to accentuate our divine qualities because we are divine humans. We have divinity within us, and this is what the higher dimensional consciousness is teaching us. This is where we're learning to grow into. And being able to come into a place of our own empowerment in a way that supports not only us, but the empowerment of all those around us is a beautiful thing. And we all benefit from that. But first, we have to recognize where it is that we're operating in our own disempowerment, and what those programs are, what those stories are, and begin to dismantle them. And awareness is key, right? Awareness, awareness, awareness. That's the entryway. So when we start moving into, well, away from self-rejection and into self-love, we will begin to bloom into our own divine empowerment, where we begin to really access these higher qualities of consciousness that move through us and express through us in service to all. And we're not carrying shame or guilt about becoming big, right? There's nothing wrong with being too big for the britches. Hopefully we are outgrowing the britches, the old britches. And hopefully we're going to continue to outgrow every outfit that we put on as we continue to evolve. So it's a good thing to start to get too big for the britches. And when we're in balance, when we're really honoring and receiving ourselves deeply through love, my experience is we don't have to worry about using our power negatively, or that it's going to barrel over anyone. And oftentimes the divine power center becomes activated more fully as the higher heart center activates. So the higher heart center sort of activates the divine power, so that when we do step into our power, we're doing it from love. We're expressing our empowerment, our bigness, our brilliance, our radiance, our divinity through love. We're not trying to squash anybody. We're not trying to overpower anybody. Instead, we're trying to encourage, inspire, and model what the potential is for everybody. So that's it. That's my little scoop on empowerment. So I'll be curious what you guys find out about your own programming, about how you feel about power and how that feels in your body, or how that has felt in the world around you that may be preventing you from stepping into your empowerment, to receiving yourself and honoring everything about you, so that you can then bring that forth and help empower somebody else and others. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Oh, by the way, you can find more information on my work at lotuslindley.net, and definitely connect with me on Facebook under Lotus Lindley or Lotus Lindley at Art of Sacred Embodiment. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.